Measurement of mass. Mass. The mass of a body is the quantity of the matter contained in it. Measurement of mass. When we purchase tomatoes from the market, the vendor measures the mass of tomatoes by a balance. The beam balance is used to measure the mass. It has a long beam having a support at the center and two identical pans suspended at equal distances from the center of the beam. The object to be weighed is placed on one pan and standard weights are placed on the other, till both the pans are perfectly balanced. The total of the standard weights give mass of the object. The process is called weighing and the standard mass used for the comparison is called weight. In a laboratory, we use a more accurate balance known as physical balance. It is also used to measure mass of gold, chemicals required for making medicines, etc. It is highly accurate in measurement. Unit of mass. The SI unit of mass is kilogram, kg, and its submultiple is gram, g. Multiples and submultiples of unit of mass. 1000 milligrams, mg, is equal to 1 gram, g. 1000 grams, g, is equal to 1 kilogram, kg. 100 kilograms is equal to 1 quintal. 10 quintals is equal to 1 metric ton. Note: we must not confuse ourselves considering both mass and weight as the same physical quantities. Mass is the amount of matter contained, while weight is the force with which the earth attracts a body towards its center. Measurement of area. The extent of the surface occupied by an object is called its area. Area is the region enclosed within the boundaries of a two-dimensional figure. A two-dimensional figure has only two dimensions, namely length and breadth. Squares, rectangles, triangles and circles are all examples of two-dimensional figures. Measuring area of regular shapes. The area, A, of a regular surface such as squares, rectangles and triangles can be calculated by using specific formula. 1. Area of a square is equal to side into side is equal to side square. 2. Area of a rectangle is equal to length into breadth. L into B. L is equal to length, B is equal to breadth. 3. Area of a triangle is equal to half into B into H. B is equal to base, H is equal to height. Unit of area is square meter, meter square. 1 meter square is the area of a square whose each side is 1 meter. When we need to measure the area of a big surface like a room, a garden or a building, we need bigger units of area like air and hectare. 1 air is equal to 10 meter into 10 meter is equal to 100 meter square. 1 hectare is equal to 100 meter into 100 meter is equal to 10,000 meters square. The areas of countries and continents can be measured in square kilometers. Kilometer square. 1 square kilometer is equal to 1 kilometer into 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter into 1000 meter is equal to 10,000 meters square. The area of a very small surface, like the area of the base of a geometry box, can be measured in square centimeter. 1 square centimeter is equal to 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter into 10 millimeter is equal to 100 millimeters square. Measuring area of irregular shapes. Irregular shapes do not have easily measurable dimensions. Therefore, it is difficult to have a formula for measuring the area of an irregularly shaped region. Areas of irregular shapes can be determined with the help of a graph paper. A graph paper has equal-sized squares of sides 1 centimeter each and smaller squares of sides 1 millimeter each. Activity: to measure the area of an irregular shape by using a graph paper. Place an irregularly shaped object on a graph paper and trace its outline on the graph paper. You will find that there will be some complete squares and some incomplete squares within the outline of the object. Count the number of complete squares within the outline, shown by the symbol 3. Then count the number of incomplete squares that are half or more than half within the outline, shown by the symbol dot. Ignore the squares with less than half part within the outline. The sum of the number of the complete squares and the number of squares with half or more than half within the outline gives the approximate area of the given irregular object. The area of the shape is equal to area of 4 complete squares plus area of 4 half or more than half squares is equal to area of 8 squares is equal to 8 squares is equal to 1 centimeter square is equal to 8 centimeters square. Measurement of time. The interval between two events is called time. We measure time with the help of mean solar day. It is defined as time taken by the Earth to complete one rotation about its own axis. The mean solar day is divided into 24 equal intervals, and each interval is called an hour. 1 hour is further divided into 60 equal parts, and each part is called a minute. 1 minute is further divided into 60 equal parts, and each part is called a second. Ancient methods of time measurement. Time has always been important to mankind. The occurrence of day and night was used for the measurement of time in ancient days. With the passage of time, a candle clock, a water clock, a sundial, a sand clock, etc. were discovered for more accurate measurement. The sundial was used to record time in days of Alexander the Great, 300 BCE. It is based on the fact that shadow of an object changes its position and length with the position of sun in the sky. Some historical sundials still exist in India. They are situated in Ujjain, Jaipur, Delhi and Varanasi. They are designed and built by Maharaja Jai Singh of Jaipur. The time indicated by these sundials are correct. However, these do not work after sunset or on cloudy days. Modern clocks and watches also measure time with the help of events that repeat after a fixed time interval. The simple pendulum is an example. In a pendulum clock, time is measured by making use of the time taken by the pendulum for each oscillation. A simple pendulum is defined as a heavy point mass suspended with the help of a light inextensible string of negligible weight. Its initial position is at O. When it is taken to position A and released, it goes to B via O. This process continues alternately. The to and fro motion of the pendulum is called the periodic motion. One complete to and fro motion is called an oscillation. In figure, initially pendulum is in mean position O. A and B are its extreme positions. One oscillation constitutes the movement of the bob from O to A and A to B and back to O. The time taken by bob to complete one oscillation is called its time period. Device for measuring time interval. The time interval of an event is measured with the help of stopwatch. It is shown in the adjacent figure. We generally measure the minimum time in 1 second from our clock, but sometimes we require to measure 1/100th part of a second. For this, we need a highly accurate electronic watch. These watches are used to measure time for athletic events. Units of time. Second is the SI unit of time. It is followed all over the world. We represent it as S. Relationship between different units of time. 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute. 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour. 24 hours is equal to 1 day. 365 days approximately is equal to 1 year. 10 years is equal to 1 decade. 10 decades is equal to 1 century is equal to 100 years. 10 centuries is equal to 1 millennium is equal to 1000 years. Other units. 1 mean solar day is equal to 24 hours is equal to 24 into 60 minutes is equal to 24 into 60 into 60 seconds is equal to 8,64,000 seconds. Do you know? In the Middle Ages, candle clocks measured of equal units of time as the flames melted the wax. 24-hour clock time. Commonly, we use a 12-hour clock. In such a clock, the time from 12 o'clock at night to 12 o'clock at noon is given a suffix AM, and the time from 12 o'clock noon to 12 o'clock night is given the suffix PM. Many sectors like railways, airlines, etc. use 24-hour clock. Some digital clocks and watches also display 24-hour time instead of 12-hour time. In this clock, time is not repeated on the same day and no AM or PM is used. The time schedule is as follows. 0000 to 12 is midnight to noon. 12 to 24, noon to midnight. 0 hour 0 minutes denotes exactly midnight time, and 12 hour 0 minutes denotes exactly noon time. The relationship between 12-hour clock time to 24-hour clock time is shown below. 12-hour clock time, 24-hour clock time. 1 a.m., 1 hours. 4 a.m., 4 hours. 6:30 a.m., 6:30 hours. 12 noon, 12 hours. 1 p.m., 13 hours. 10:45 p.m., 22:45 hours. 12 midnight, 24 hours. 0 hour, 0 to 0 hour. In a 24-hour clock, time is shown by 4 units. The first 2 digits indicate the number of hours and the next 2 digits indicate the number of minutes. For example, 1:30 a.m. is expressed as 1 hour 30 minutes and 10:30 p.m. is expressed as 22 hours 30 minutes. Measurement of temperature. Temperature is defined as the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. We can feel the effect of heat when we sit near a hot body. The instrument which is used to measure the temperature of a substance is called a thermometer. Thermo means heat and meter means measurement. A thermometer works on the principle that a liquid expands on heating and contracts on cooling. Temperature scale. A liquid thermometer have a bulb at one end and a long stem which is graduated in degrees. The scale of a thermometer is usually divided between 2 points. One is melting point of pure ice, 0 degrees Celsius, and the other is boiling point of pure water, 100 degrees Celsius. These 2 points are called the lower fixed point and the upper fixed point. In general, measurement of temperature is divided into 3 scales: Celsius scale, Fahrenheit scale, and Kelvin scale. The Celsius scale of temperature was designed by Anders Celsius, 1701 to 1744. The unit of measurement of temperature in this scale is degrees Celsius, 0 degrees Celsius. The lower fixed point of the scale ice point, is 0 degrees Celsius and the upper fixed point, steam point, is 100 degrees Celsius. The interval between the lower fixed point and upper fixed point is divided into 100 equal parts. The value of each division is 1 degree Celsius. On the Fahrenheit scale, the lower and the upper fixed points are 32 degree Fahrenheit and 212 degree Fahrenheit respectively. The distance between these 2 points is divided into 180 equal parts. Each division is equal to 1 degree Fahrenheit. The different types of thermometers are 1. Clinical doctor's thermometer, 2. Laboratory thermometer, 3. Maximum and minimum temperature thermometer. In thermometers, the sensitive liquid used in mercury because it is a shining liquid. In maximum and minimum thermometer, the liquid used is alcohol. Clinical thermometer. It is also called the doctor's thermometer. It is used to measure the temperature of the human body. It measures the temperature in Fahrenheit scale. It consists of a thin capillary tube having a small cylindrical bulb at its lower end. The bulb and the part of the capillary tube is filled with pure mercury. There is a small bend in the tube called constriction, kink, just above the bulb. When the thermometer is placed in the patient's mouth below the tongue or under the armpit, the mercury expands. It pushes through the kink into the capillary tube. The kink ensures that the mercury does not move back into the bulb when the thermometer is taken out of patient's mouth. This gives us time to take the reading after removing the thermometer from the patient's mouth. After taking the reading, mercury can be made to return to the bulb by giving jerks to the thermometer again and again. Laboratory thermometer. A laboratory thermometer is used to measure temperature in the laboratories during various experiments. Generally, it is graduated from -10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. When the bulb is heated or cooled, mercury in the bulb expands or contracts and rises up or goes down through the capillary tube. The mercury can be seen through the stem as a thin shining thread. Mercury is preferred to other liquids as it is a liquid metal, good conductor of heat, and expands uniformly. Maximum and minimum thermometer. You must have seen the maximum and the minimum temperatures recorded in various metropolitan cities on your television screen. Similarly, most newspapers give the maximum and minimum temperatures of a city for previous day under the heading of weather report. This thermometer was invented by James VI in the 18th century. Therefore, it is named after him as 6th thermometer. This thermometer measures the minimum and maximum temperature attained during the day. It is used by the meteorologist to record the highest and lowest temperature of a place on a given day. Unit of temperature. SI unit of temperature is Kelvin, K. 0 degrees Celsius is equal to 273 Kelvin. 100 degrees Celsius is equal to 373 Kelvin. Scientist. Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit, 1686 to 1736, was a German physicist, engineer, and glassblower who is best known for inventing the alcohol thermometer 1709, the mercury thermometer 1714, and for developing a temperature scale now named after him. According to Fahrenheit's 1724 article, he determined that scale by reference to 3 fixed points of temperature. The lowest temperature was achieved by preparing a frigorific mixture of ice, water, and ammonium chloride, a salt, and the reading there was taken as 0 Fahrenheit. The second reference point was selected as the reading of the thermometer when it was placed in still water when ice was just forming on the surface. This was assigned as 32 Fahrenheit. The third calibration point was taken as 96 Fahrenheit when the instrument was placed under the arm or in the mouth.